All right, now we all think about aliens, but have you ever thought about the fact that we might be aliens? Yes, we may be aliens to things like lizards, for example, or birds, or fish, or an elephant. Random animals that were on screen. I couldn't think of any, but yeah, I found this video today called What If We Are the Aliens? So it's going to talk about what if humans are actually the aliens and we're just creating this false narrative in our head that there's green creatures with two eyes and long necks and they're 20 feet tall that roam the stratosphere or whatever. But yeah, let's check out the video. I'll leave the link in the description below, and let's check out, are we the aliens?
Every single species on this planet has spent millions of years adapting to Earth. Fish developed gills to breathe underwater. Birds evolved hollow bones to fly. Polar bears grew thick fur to survive the Arctic. And then there's us. We burn in our own sunlight. Our spines are falling apart. We give birth in a process so violent it kills us more than any other mammal on the planet. And we're the
Wow, I did not know that.
only species that looked around at the world it evolved in and thought, something's off. What if the reason we don't fit on Earth is because we're not from here? Let's start with your skin. You walk outside on a clear day, give it 15 minutes.
Well, that's just a reason why people believe in religion too, because people say, well, we're obviously different than animals. We have a higher consciousness and we're way more intelligent. So obviously, something must have made us.
Your skin
That's an argument that is used for, to counter atheism or any other form of like nihilism.
starts to burn. You turn red, you blister, you peel, and no other species on Earth has this problem. Not at this scale. Lizards sit in direct sunlight for hours. Dogs, cats, horses.
Well, that's because they need to, because they're lame.
Scale. Lizards sit in direct sunlight for hours. Dogs
can't even heat themselves.
Cats, horses, elephants, they spend their entire lives under the same sun and handle
That is the longest horse I have ever seen in my life.
cats, horses,
What kind of horse is that?
elephants, they spend their entire lives under the same sun and handle it just fine. Their fur, their scales, their pigmentation, all perfectly calibrated for our star. Ours isn't. We literally had to invent a chemical paste and rub it on ourselves just to go outside safely. Think about that for a second. We invented sunscreen because our own sun is trying to kill us. Now, look at your back. 80% of humans will experience chronic back pain at some point in their lives.
No.
When 4 out of 5 members of your species share the same structural problem, you stop blaming the individual and start looking at the blueprint. Our spines are essentially a horizontal bridge that evolution tried to stand upright. The discs between our vertebrae compress under gravity in ways they were never meant to handle. Other bipedal animals like kangaroos and ostriches don't have this issue.
So they don't get back pain? So you're telling me I'm not meant to stand up? I'm supposed to be like this? Or however Homo sapiens used to move? That's crazy.
Bodies were built from the ground up for standing. Ours were retrofitted badly. Then there's childbirth. This one's rough. Human childbirth is the most dangerous birth process of any mammal on the planet. Our babies' heads are so big they barely fit through the birth canal. Before modern medicine, giving birth was one of the leading causes of death for women throughout all of humanity.
1 in 18 women used to die. That's crazy, dude. Whenever I see a new mother, I'm like, you're a trooper, because genuinely that is one of the worst things to go through, and something that I would not want to go through, and something I will not have to go through because I don't have a uterus. So
history. No other species routinely dies trying to deliver healthy offspring. That's just us. A horse gives birth in about 30 minutes. The foal stands up and walks within the hour.
I've seen a horse birth. It's very they make it look very easy compared to, especially if they have like a handler that can just pull it out of them. But they make it look very easy compared to something like a human birth.
A horse gives birth in about 30 minutes. The foal stands up and walks within the hour. A human baby can't even hold up its own head for months. We show up completely useless, dependent on others for years, more helpless than any other animal that has ever existed on this planet.
Wow, that is crazy. I never thought about that. Every other animal, every other species, you know how like when a dog is born, like they start digging holes. A cat too, they start digging holes. They know how to, like a horse. The horse, I think, are the quickest. They start walking as soon as they come out because they're the size of like a 3-year-old human as soon as they pop out. And then a year later, they're massive. Like every other thing comes pre-programmed. We have to be taught language. We have to be taught this, taught that. That's a weird thing. I never thought about
And
that.
then there are allergies. Your immune system has one job: protect you. But in humans, this system regularly goes to war against things that are completely harmless: pollen, peanuts, dust, cat hair, shellfish. About 30% of the global population has allergies. Your own defense system is attacking the air you breathe and the food you eat. Either evolution made a serious mistake, or your body is calibrated for somewhere else entirely. But the strangest part isn't physical. It's in your head. No other animal on Earth knows it's going to die. Dogs don't lie awake wondering what happens
Yeah,
after.
that's the difference between us. Difference in consciousness. People like to argue that animals are conscious. I say they aren't because they don't know they're going to die. Humans are the only species that actively thinks about the fact that we won't be here one day, and we can comprehend that. We have time to think about it. Animals just live. They don't know that they'll die. They just live off of instinct.
Death. Dolphins don't have existential crises. Elephants don't build religions to cope with the terror of mortality, but we do. All of us. We are the only species walking around with the full awareness that one day we'll stop existing. And instead of just dealing with it, we've spent our entire history trying to solve it. We build temples, we write philosophies, we create entire civilizations organized around the question of what happens when we die. Why would evolution do this to us? Seriously, what survival advantage does existential dread provide? For most of human history, this awareness has driven people to despair.
It's just, religion historically is just a cope mechanism for humans not knowing what happened after death. You could just say that. Obviously, it's different if you ask a religious person because, they're deep rooted in their religion. But historically, that's what religion is: humans just being too curious.
To madness, to war. It feels like a feature you'd find in a species that's out of place, conscious enough to sense something is wrong, but unable to figure out what. And then there's the one that's hardest to explain away. Every species on this planet exists in some kind of balance with its ecosystem. Predators keep prey in check. Prey keeps plant life in check. Decomposers recycle nutrients back into the soil. It's a closed loop. Everybody plays their part, except us. We clear-cut forests, we poison
We poison the air, poison the waters. We poison our atmosphere. We kill everything. We cut down. We deforest. I don't know if that's the right word. We cut down trees, ruin habitats, ruin
closed loop.
everything.
Everybody plays their part, except us. We clear-cut forests, we poison rivers, we pump the atmosphere full of gases that heat the planet. We've driven thousands of species to extinction, and we're not even close to slowing down. We're not participating in Earth's ecosystem. We're taking it apart. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you'd expect from an invasive species.
I'm sorry. I was drinking water.
The atmosphere full of gases that heat the planet.
I'm so excited for the day that we bring back the woolly mammoth, dude. I've always said this. If I want to see a woolly mammoth before I die, I know they made the woolly mouse. That was so cool, dude. I want to see a woolly mammoth before I die.
Thousands of species to extinction, and we're not even close to slowing down. We're not participating in Earth's ecosystem.
Yeah, we don't care. Even global warming, climate change. Okay, we'll leave it to the future. It's like we don't. That's not something that we have to deal with now. So we'll just let the people in the future, be responsible for it.
We're taking it apart. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you'd expect from an invasive species. Something dropped onto a planet it wasn't built for. It doesn't know the rules because the rules weren't written for it. So if we really don't belong here, where did we come from? In 1973, Francis Crick published a paper that should have shaken the scientific world. He won the Nobel Prize in 1962 for figuring out how the molecule that carries all of life's instructions actually works. He's one of the most important scientists who ever lived. And in that 1973 paper, written with chemist Leslie Orgel, he proposed something wild. He called it directed panspermia, the idea that life on Earth didn't start here, that it was deliberately seeded by an intelligent civilization from somewhere else in the galaxy. The man who decoded DNA looked at the story of life on Earth and said, "I don't think this adds up." And honestly, the evidence backing him up is hard to dismiss. Life showed up on Earth roughly 3.8 billion years ago. The planet itself is only about 4.5 billion years old. That means
how do we know that, though? How do we know that the planet is 4 billion years old? It could be 10. How do we know that for sure?
Complex organic chemistry appeared just 700 million years after Earth formed. In geological time, that's basically overnight. The planet was still getting hammered by asteroids, still cooling from a molten hellscape of rock and toxic gas. And somehow, life popped up almost the second conditions allowed it. Biologists have always found that timing suspicious. Then there's the Murchison meteorite. In 1969, a rock from space crashed into southeastern Australia. When scientists cracked it open, they found over 90 different amino acids inside, the building blocks of life. And some of those amino acids are the exact same ones found in every living thing on Earth.
Wow. So does that hypothesize that we started from a rock landing here, and so we actually are from a faraway place? We were just all in a
Organic
rock? That's
chemistry,
crazy.
just riding through space on a rock. And here's the thing, we know life can actually survive out there. Tardigrades, those microscopic little guys that look like 8-legged gummy bears, have been exposed to the vacuum of space, to cosmic radiation, to temperatures near absolute
Well, those are just invincible. They can live anywhere.
zero, and they made it. In 2019, an Israeli spacecraft carrying tardigrades crashed on the moon. Scientists think some of them might still be viable up there, just sitting on the lunar surface, waiting. Life doesn't just exist on Earth. It can hitch a ride between worlds. In 2013, ecologist Dr. Ellis Silver published a book called Humans Are Not From Earth, pulling together all the physiological evidence that we're poorly adapted to
I
this
mean, that's
planet.
not a crazy statement. Humans are not from Earth. I mean, it sounds weird, but maybe we aren't. Maybe because if you look at every other species, we are the only ones that don't really add up in terms of like evolution, right? We're everything around us isn't conscious. Like, we are way more intelligent than the things around us. So that kind of leads you to believe that we are like just not supposed to be here.
Not from Earth, pulling together all the physiological
But we just choose to pollute the earth and
evidence
horrible
that we're
things to it.
poorly adapted to this planet. The sunburn, the back pain, the allergies, the dangerous childbirth, even our circadian rhythm being slightly off from a 24-hour cycle. He argued these weren't just quirks of evolution. They were signs we came from somewhere else. But here's where it gets complicated, because mainstream biology actually has a pretty good answer for almost all of it. It's called evolutionary mismatch. And honestly, it might be even more interesting than the alien theory. Back pain. We only started walking upright about 6 million years ago. Sounds ancient, right? But evolution moves slow. Really slow. Our spines haven't had enough generations to fully figure out this whole standing thing. We're basically walking around in a prototype that never got its final update. Sunburn. We lost our body hair. Best theory is thermoregulation. When our ancestors moved from forests onto open savannas, they needed to cool down while running for hours under the African sun. Sweat works way better on bare skin than through fur. So we traded our protective coat for the ability to outrun literally every other animal on the planet. The sunburn is just the price we pay. Childbirth. Our brains got bigger faster than our birth canals could keep up. Scientists call it the obstetric dilemma. Evolution was trying to make us smarter and keep us upright at the same time, and the pelvis basically got caught in the middle. It's messy, it's dangerous, but it makes sense. Even the environmental destruction thing has a rational explanation. We evolved in small groups on the savanna where resources felt endless compared to how few of us there were. Our brains are wired for short-term survival, not managing an entire planet's ecosystem. We're not alien invaders. We're just an animal that got way too powerful, way too fast for its own wiring to handle. So that settles it, right? Well, not quite, because even after all those
I mean,
explanations,
you could argue both.
there's one thing evolutionary biology still can't fully account for: the speed. No species in the 4 billion year history of life on Earth has ever done what we did. Dolphins have been around for roughly 50 million years. They're smart. They have complex social lives. They communicate. And in all that time, they have never built a single tool. Not one. Chimpanzees figured out sticks about 4 million years ago. They have not filed a single upgrade since. And then there's us. We went from sharpened rocks to nuclear weapons in about 2 million years. From fire to the International Space
Yeah, we went from rocks to a cell phone that I can call anyone that I have the number to. It has a camera, it has a flash. I can play music. It has speakers. Like, we've done so much.
station. From cave paintings to artificial intelligence. From banging flint together to landing robots on Mars. 200 years ago, we didn't have railroads. 125
Yeah,
years
we did. We had railroads 200 years ago.
robots on Mars. 200
Most of the railroads that are around you guys right now are probably been over 300 years, maybe. I don't know. Railroads have been along for a long
years
time.
ago, we didn't have railroads. 125 years ago,
There's a lot less railroads now, because a lot of it just kind of fell out like when trucking took over and things like other transports, but
airplanes
trains have been around for a
didn't
while.
exist. 75 years ago, we hadn't been to space. 35 years ago, there was no internet. Nothing in the entire history of life on this planet has ever accelerated like
we just spiked. Like, to think 100 years ago, you couldn't just pull out your phone and chat GPT or whatever you do.
that.
It's weird.
Nothing even comes close. And scientists still can't agree on why. Some think it was language. Some think it was cooking, which gave us more calories and let our brains get bigger. Some point to a mutation in a gene called FOXP2 that may have unlocked complex speech. Others say it was our ability to teach, to stack knowledge across generations so each one picked up where the last left off. All of those probably played a role, but none of them fully explain the sheer speed of it. Every other intelligent
We'll never be able to explain it.
species on Earth took tens of millions of years to develop gradually. We went from prey animal to running the entire planet in what amounts to a geological blink. Crick couldn't
Yeah, and we could kill every single animal right now if we wanted to. It would probably kill us because we need to eat animals, but we can pick and choose and eliminate every single species.
explain it. Silver couldn't explain it, and modern evolutionary biology can explain pieces of it, but not the whole thing. Not yet. The most honest answer science has right now is we don't fully know. We've got pieces, we don't have the full picture, and that's what keeps the question alive. Look, it's probably not true that we're aliens.
Yeah, we'll never have an answer. It's like religion. We just don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
The evolutionary evidence is strong. Mismatch theory handles most of the weird stuff about our bodies. We're almost certainly a product of this planet, shaped by the same forces that shaped everything else here. But almost certainly is not definitely. And when real scientists, including one of the founders of modern genetics, look at the evidence and say, something here doesn't quite add up, that's not conspiracy talk. That's just science doing what science does, asking the uncomfortable questions and being honest when the answers don't come out clean. It's the same curiosity that made us look up at the stars in the first place. The same restlessness that made us build rockets and telescopes and send little robots to other planets just to see what's there. Maybe that restlessness isn't a flaw. Maybe it's a clue. Because if we are from here, then we're the strangest thing this planet has ever produced. A species that burns in its own sunlight, breaks under its own gravity, and can't stop looking at the sky wondering where it really came from. And if we're not from here, then we've been trying to find our way home for 200,000 years. And we don't even know it. Tonight, when the sun
Wow, great video, dude. Great video. I love that.
Every single
I'll leave it in the description below. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys think we are from another planet? Do you guys think we are from here? Are you religious at all? Do you have any foundational beliefs? Or do you have any philosophical ideas? I don't know, man. I don't know what I believe, honestly. I think that we have a creator, but the creator is absent, in meaning that they don't want us to know that they may. I don't know what I believe. I'm not religious, I'll say that, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and until next time, I hope you guys have a great day or night. And like I said, leave recommendations in the comments below. I love checking out videos that you guys want me to watch. And yeah, I'll leave it off there. Until next time, though, peace out.